Hi everyone, Ron here at AbleSys. Welcome to the webinar. Be glad to go over the charts and look and see where the buys and sells are and where the sweet spots are that we like to utilize because they're very low risk entry points. Quite choppy today. I mean, there weren't a lot of opportunities in most of the markets today, and just generally going over everything. It was just one of those kind of choppy days where it really wasn't much happening anywhere. Just really kind of a flat. A couple markets were okay, but I mean, just overall, it was a little bit on the choppy side. We'll take a look, because the nice part about the software is that it will keep us out of trading most of the time in a choppy market. That's what makes it different than anything else, which of course would get killed in a choppy market, just as anybody would, us included. When the markets are choppy, I mean, that's just basically saying nobody can win. There's no sustained, up or down movement. So obviously you don't win. But the best thing to do in a choppy market is not to trade. And that's why the guidance chart, which is of course is the combination of the two time frames, both the higher and lower, and we like to keep it about 3 times away from each other. That works well. Filters out many of the false signals, or filters out a choppy market before it starts. For example, right here. Now this is the NASDAQ index, obviously very popular. Everybody pretty much hears and knows about the NASDAQ. And just an overall view of the market, just to kind of get a little bit overall view. This is a daily, weekly chart. So and that's why I want to say that the software works exactly the same and equally as well if you trade daily and weekly. For people who are working busy all day and do more longer term trading, it'll work just as well for long term trading as it will for short term. The reason we may basically show the the day trading, like the 3-minute and the 9-minute, which is our most popular and favorite one, is because that's just what everybody wants to trade. So that's okay. I'll show any chart, any time frame, whatever anybody wants. But that's what 9 out of 10 people ask me to pull up. So that'd be great. I mean, it certainly works well, and the software works equally well on all markets and on all time frames. So whether you do day trading or swing or end of day, whether you do stocks, futures, forex, it's exactly the same. It's just going by the price. So the software's algorithm doesn't care if it's the price of the NASDAQ, or if it's the price of Google or the euro, crude oil. It doesn't matter. It's meaningless. Bonds, it doesn't matter if you're doing day trading or long-term trading. It'll work the same. And that's the nice part about it, because it's the same colors, the same dots, it's the same rules. A chart's a chart, regardless of what it is. It's always the same thing. After the big, of course, uptrend here earlier in the year, NASDAQ, we had a really nice no trade zone here. And this is what's so helpful with the guidance chart. You can see this perfect no trade zone, because blue dots below, the weekly dots, are stopping or blocking it from going lower. The daily dots are telling you there's resistance above, which blocks the price from going higher. So you got support and resistance at the same time, above and below the price. Well, naturally it gets stuck in the middle, because the dots are so accurate. The support and resistance points are so accurate, and our software's algorithm is able to see where these hidden or invisible support and resistance points are. That's what makes Abletrend so special. And again, look, I mean, that's a perfect couple of weeks here, not to trade the NASDAQ index, because it just basically went nowhere. So this is how we filter out false signals. Of course, here we've got a excellent buy signal. So the software has been on a buy signal now for about a month on the NASDAQ, and it's up 250 points. I mean, that's a lot, that's a lot of profit right there. I mean, somebody doing a call option, longer term. Again, this is for more daily, weekly, because a lot of people have been saying, hey, does it work as well on the daily, weekly, or, I work all day, can I use it? Absolutely, absolutely. I certainly do myself, that's for sure, on the long term. So you can see here, as long as you've got the blue dots below, it means stay in the trade. And it's the same rules. We could be looking at a 3-minute, 9-minute, mini NASDAQ chart, or a bond chart, or a gold chart. It's the same thing. This is, we want, triple confirmation is great. Doesn't have to be. Even if you didn't have the blue dots here, it'd still be a trade as long as there's no red dot above the price to block it from going higher. Then it's a trade. We just simply don't buy if there's a red dot above. We don't short it or buy puts if there's a blue dot below. That's all we're doing. I mean, that's really all it is. When everything is blue, we're buying, and when everything is red, we're selling it short. That's it. You know, but we have to have stop losses in place, and it would be right there. Here's the price. Here's our protection that stops it from going lower, and there's where the stop loss goes. It always goes on the second lower small blue dot underneath the price. I kind of looked at these as like levels, you know, up a step, a little higher, you know, step higher, then there's like 5 in a row, and then up a step. You just put it at the second step down, and that's where your stop loss goes. Now you say, a lot of people say, well, hey, I got in at the beginning, which is great because you're getting in at the start of the trend. Where would I put my stop loss here? There is no lower blue dot. I just put it, you know, 1 penny or 1 cent or 1 pip, regardless, you know, depending on what you're trading. Just put it very slightly under the blue dot. That's fine because the blue dot is like a roadblock that's going to block it from going lower. But if the price busts through this roadblock, then we want to have some protection right below that, because you know, these dots are our defense. And if it breaks below the dot, well, then of course we don't want to be we don't want to be staying in that one too much longer. Okay, let's take a look at something else. Next one, we'll take a look at the ES. And John's asking for the SPY, which is close enough here to the ES. Let's take a look at this one. We had a sell signal, which turned out to be a great signal, but it's too tough to get in. Yes, the software picked it up, 3-minute, 9-minute, you know, everything was in agreement over here, but you were riding along the bands. We're not going to touch it along the bands, and this thing dropped like suddenly, like within like 10 minutes, you know, the S&P just dropped like 10 points. It's just too quick to get in. I mean, I'm talking real life trading here, and that was just too tough to get in at that point. Yeah, it's great that the software picked it up, and anybody who did get in, good job, because that was a hard one in real life to get in. You can't nail these perfect. It's just not possible. You know, it's just you know, you'd love to say you could, but it's just, you know, it's real life trading, but the, you know, the software is going to give you a very accurate roadmap of telling you where the odds are going to be greatly in your favor every time you make a trade, and they'll most certainly be losing trades, but with the odds in your favor every time you make a trade, even if you have a couple in a row, if you just stick with it, and that's the hard part, because the mental part of it is it's very unnatural. So, you know, to want to, you know, to be able to handle, you know, some losing trades, even though they're small, you know, it's not possible for everybody to do it. But if you can just have enough patience and discipline to keep taking the trades when the odds are greatly in your favor, you're going to hit a home run. Perfect sweet spot right there. There's your just, you know, classic textbook sweet spot right there. Not going to buy it here because of the red dots above. It was too risky at that time. And Abletrend is only about low risk trades. Only low risk trades. But at that point, you know, that's as good as it gets. You've got triple confirmation. There's no red dots above. Small little blue bars, and you always like to enter on a small price bar, and then right up on top of the little blue dot. It just doesn't get any lower risk than that, because there's where your stop loss is. It's at the next lower blue dot down. So your stop loss is like a half a point away. So there's very little bit of money at risk. And the SPY chart looked identical to this chart, so it's the same thing here. So right around 1 o'clock, a little before 1 o'clock Eastern time, it was just your perfect classic setup. So this is, my point is, this is what I want you to be looking for on any of your charts, whether you're trading, you know, gold or British pound or anything, doesn't matter, you know, Apple. When you see something like this, that's really, really low risk. And that's what the software, of course, and the company here is all about. Low risk trades. So if you have enough low risk trades, even though you might have a couple of losses, for sure, they're going to happen, they're always going to be small losses because you have to put a stop loss in place. So you're going to have small losses, and then if you just always think about it, if you're always trading with the odds in your favor, you're gonna get, you know, some nice winning trades. And then of course, you know, along the way it did go up. Now it didn't go up much because the, you know, market just didn't move much. Nothing anybody can do about that. But if you're trading multiple contracts, or if you're just a type that likes to get in and out very quickly, you there's a place to pick up a quick 2 points, when it hits the upper band, as we always say, when it hits the upper band, because this is 3 deviations, the normal is 2. It means you're pretty stretched. You stretch that rubber band pretty good, whereby there's a good chance it can snap back, like it did here, like it did there. So those are great places to take partial profit when it hits the upper band. And the same thing if you're short and it hits the bottom band, well, that'd be a great place to take partial profit there too. Okay, Andrew has a couple here that he wants to take a look at. So let's just do that, and then I'll go back to the crude oil chart. I purposely want to show you that one because it was really ugly, choppy, terrible looking chart. And so I want to actually show that chart. People say, well, why wouldn't you avoid that? No. We don't avoid anything. We don't cherry pick. I want to show the good, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I mean, this is real life stuff. Millions of dollars on the line. People are using the software. We want to be as realistic as possible. Let me just show one of Andrew's here. GF, was it U7? Okay, yeah, because I got a bunch of things to get to here, but let's take a look at this one. Andrew, wow, yeah, this is super. You got just some classic, super low risk sweet spots right here at the beginning of the trend, triple confirmation, up and away it went, but we're stopped out now because, clearly we'd be stopped out. So, wow, today we're stopped out after a fantastic gain of some really serious money. Some more sweet spots in here. If, someone wasn't in at the beginning of the trend about a month ago here, and this is a daily, weekly chart, you had a really, really good chance to get in right over there. Nice. Boy, that's a crazy amount of money. This is feeder cattle, by the way, so you got some super trade right there. I mean, that's great stuff. Okay, let me jump over to crude oil here. I want to purposely show this chart because you just can't get a more difficult chart to trade, where I would bet 99 at 95 out of 100 traders who attempted to trade this lost money today without using Abletrend. And we had we had a small losing day here too, but the key word is small because there were very little trades, and that was what kept us alive. You got a no trade zone here because you got blue and red dots together. No trade there. We're not going to touch this because we're at the bottom band. Plus, we like to go within 10 cents where the price is within 10 cents or closer to the red dot, and you're clearly a lot more than that here, closer to 15 cents. Same thing over here. This is just too far from the red dots, and again, on crude oil, 10 cents is where we'd like to be. Another no trade here. Finally, we do have a trade here, which we broke about even on. Maybe a small winner, but I'll call that a break even because this is a perfect sweet spot right here. Triple confirmation right at the blue dot, right at the support points. I mean, that's just super. Again, no trade here because of the red and blue dots. No trade here because of the red and blue dots. So it was just great because it was just a bunch of no trade zones. Here is a trade. That's a trade right there, and we're stopped out right there. So we lost 5 cents on that trade. Here's another one. We lost 10 cents on that one. So I want to point that out. There were 2 small losing trades. But I guarantee you, 99 out of 100 people who traded this, got crushed. I mean, this is an ugly chart. But using the guidance chart, and this is really where you see the value in it, it just weren't very many trades. You've got another sweet spot right in here, or close to a sweet spot, where we would have made a couple of pennies, but I'm going to call that break even. Keep in mind, you can always take profit, or partial profit at least, when the prices hit the bottom bands. So just wanted to bring this chart up here because you just can't get a worse looking chart where you would think, oh my God, you must have got completely crushed. I mean, you must have lost a ton of money. No, just a couple of small losses. Nobody gets hurt. Nobody blows out their account. And a couple of break evens and a couple of small losses. So if you can just come out with a small loss on a day like this, wow, you've got something special. And that's what makes the guidance chart so good. Is exactly This is exactly the reason why right here. David, 1121 long trade. Yep, that's the one right here, David. Up right here. So you got a couple of, got a couple sweet spots right in here where it's going to be some small losing trade, just a couple cents actually, literally 2 or 3 cents, which is $20 or $30. And then this one here was, was 10 cents. Where was that? Here was 10 cents, and then 5 cents over here. But compared to losing a dollar, compared to losing thousands of dollars, which again, I'll bet 9 out of 10 traders did, non-Abletrend users did, looking at a chart like this. I mean, you just get completely crushed for thousands. Yet we just had a few smaller trades, and maybe came up to a few hundred max, compared to literally thousands. Any other, you throw any indicators on here right now, and it was a disaster. But Abletrend sidestepped the disaster because of the guidance chart. So a day like this, losing maybe 15, 20 cents on the day is like winning compared to losing thousands, which anything. Okay, David's saying you broke even today. Well, you did terrific then, David. Excellent job, great job. Because to break even on a chart like this, that's as ugly as it gets. Now you want to look at something like yesterday here. That was a $1,000 winner for the day. That was a $1 winner, which equates to 1,000, because you had just some perfect sweet anywhere in here. You take any one of these, clear-cut sweet spots, well within the 10-cent trading, 10 cent, to the blue dot, as we said, and you just hit a complete home run here because it didn't get out technically till about right there. And from there to there is about $1, actually even a little more, but I'm just going to say $1 just to keep it even. It's a $1,000 trade. One trade, one contract yesterday on crude oil was just a beauty. You wish everything could be like that, but we can't move the market. We can only, take what it gives us. But that's a fantastic, looking chart. You wish every day was like that. But the software nailed it, got us in before the big up move here, kept us in it all day long, even with the, the choppiness and the zigging, zagging and up and down, until finally, right about here. So that was super. Okay, let's jump on. We're going to take a look at one more here. We're going to take a look at the pound yen. I like the pound yen because it's a good mover. Now, anything with the British pound and the pound dollar, pound yen, and that doesn't mean don't look at the Japanese yen or the euro, because those some days those look fine too. But the pound yen, most days, more days than not, it's a really good mover for forex traders. So I'm going to put this one up here from my friend Michael from New York here right now, because he likes to trade the forex market. So let's take a look at this one here. This is a 5 and 15 minute. 5 and 15 minute seems to be working out real well, this year. So we've been going with the 5 and 15 on the currencies or on the forex market, and you got yourself a, like a textbook classic sweet spot there. The price pulls back, and the bars go from green back to red again. You're getting in, right up near the red dot. You have triple confirmation. It's no blue dots below. I mean, it's just a classic, perfect, sweet spot trade that we look for on all of our charts, on any of our charts. That's exactly what we're looking for. So for you got to, you see something like this, you just got to jump on it. And then, of course, down it went until we finally got stopped out right about there. But you had a really good profit-taking opportunity here, because not only does the price touch the band, it goes outside the band, it goes below the band. And when you see something like that, you've got to take profit, because 9 out of 10 times that's going to just snap right back, which is what it did here. But then the downtrend resumed again. So, that's why, partial profit would be the way to go if you're trading more than one contract. If you're just trading one, you know what? I'm taking my profit and out. Then we're completely out here and add another sweet spot right there. Green to red. We love when it goes from green, which means neutral, back to a definitive color, which is red or blue. Red is down, blue is up. Triple confirmation. Down again it went, and there was another place to take some profit until we're finally completely out of the trade, of course, on the blue bar, blue dot. So, some really nice trades, some really nice low risk trades today on the pound yen. Then, of course, we had a buy signal, right anywhere in here. We had some, buy signals, but Generally, this time of the day, which is almost 3 o'clock Eastern, crude, and here would have been another sweet triple confirmation trade. The market goes flat. Basically the Forex market, for somebody who likes to trade that, you're basically trading it from, Eastern time from like 2 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. That's your 12-hour window, which would be 11 at night to 11 in the morning Pacific. So just wanted to show this to you here because we want to put up a nice Forex chart here. So we've covered everything. We've covered Forex. We've covered E-minis, crude oil, stocks, indices. I think we covered it all here, even feeder cattle from Andrew in Australia. So it looks like we got everything covered here. I got one more here, a question from Greg. Daily, weekly, we can use the SPXL 3 times. Yes, you can, Dad. Yes, you can, Greg, absolutely. But you're going to get a lot of volatility on that one. So yeah, well, that one's definitely going to move. And as we know, the S&P, SPY, and anything with the S&P has been so flat. It's been at an all-time low, the volatility, meaning the movement is at an all-time low. So the Nasdaq has been the big winner there for sure. The Nasdaq's been terrific. But yes, you can trade anything, Greg, and SPXL, which is triple SPX, triple S&P 500, will do. All right, well, thanks for being here, everyone. I hope I was helpful for you. Stay in touch, anything I can do to help. It's always the same colors and dots and same rules. Just got to apply that to whatever chart you're looking at, and it'll work equally well for all markets. So the hardest part is just, having the discipline and the patience to take the trades when they come up on the charts. Because, there's money at risk. So, it's not for everybody, and that's okay. It's perfectly fine. It's just, it's not easy to do. But anybody in the trading business or trading, gotta love the guidance chart because it'll definitely put the odds in your favor big time. And again, anything I can do to help you, just call or email to me anytime. Thanks for being here, everyone, and have a good night.